What's up YouTube? I've got a really fun episode for you. Make sure you watch right through looking for the bonus at the end of the video. Now this is Maxine and her daughter Dewdrop a couple of years ago, and this video was taken just a week or two before the rest of the video that we're going to see, where we're going to find out how Dewdrop tried to take on someone as a babysitter. Koala Gardens is a wildlife sanctuary on private land. Subscribing helps me bring koalas to you, and liking this video helps me bring them to the whole world. I'm lucky enough to live in the koala's backyard with a wild and free colony on the far north coast of New South Wales in Australia. Check out my Patreon options and come over and chat on my public Discord server. You'll find links for these and lots more in the description below. I'm Katrina and I'm passionate about saving koalas. We all know that koalas are the cutest animals in the world, but I tell you, Dewdrop is seriously cute. And there she is with her mum, Maxine. Now the video starts off as we can see Dewdrop is heading on up a tree, and all looks pretty usual, I guess you might say. I'm going to show you a bit later on just which tree this is too. Dewdrop is around 12 months old in this video, and you can see she's quite small, but she's pretty agile and her climbing skills are quite outstanding. She learnt really well from her mum Maxine. You can see how high up in the tree she is. I wonder if you recognise that tree. Don't worry, I don't expect you to. Now she's heading on up that tree and she looks like she's on a bit of a mission, doesn't she? She stops to have a good bit of a sniff. Only in the last few days, Maxine and Dewdrop have separated, and Maxine has said, "Bye-bye girl, it's time for you to become independent." Now Dewdrop is old enough to become independent, but I could not believe the astounding behaviour that I realised I was witnessing. Let's just freeze the frame for a moment. So on that first arrow there, that's Dewdrop's bottom. You can barely see her. And there's another koala out there on the end of the limb. Dewdrop is quite deliberately approaching this koala, who is turning their back to Dewdrop as if to say, excuse me, I don't think I want to know anything about this. And Dewdrop is kind of trying to decide, oh, should I, shouldn't I? Is it someone I know? Is it safe? Do I go? Do I stay? And she decides to reverse down a little bit. But hang on a moment. She's not really going down. She's going, maybe I should just approach you from the side a little bit, and can we make friends? Can we? Can we? You can see that she's carefully smelling on the branches there, because we know that most koala communication happens through their sense of smell. And she's certainly doing some decision making. Okay, she's made her mind up and she's on the move again. Now just listen carefully, it's quite faint. Did you hear that little chirping noise? That was Dewdrop, and only young koalas make that noise. As they mature, they never make it again, and it's designed to elicit a response from their mother. But this koala in the tree is not Dewdrop's mother, and it is not eliciting the response she's hoping for. Look at how uncomfortable that koala is, and thinking, can I move out a bit further on the branch? Can I get away? Oh no, I think I'm trapped. I wonder if you have got any clue, if you are able to guess, who is this koala that Dewdrop is trying to get up close to and make friends with in lieu of mum? I moved around to the other side of the tree and Dewdrop actually retreated away again, and I continued filming, and I have to say, I was really quite intrigued to say the least by this behaviour. Having retreated down again, she's taking another branch path up in an attempt to get up really close and personal with this koala that she's certain should be thrilled to want a babysitter. I mean, look at her. Who could possibly resist such a little bundle of joy? You certainly have to give her full points for determination. No matter how much that other koala's just sitting there ignoring her, she's determined. Okay, can you guess who is this other koala? I'm just going to replay a little in slow motion. Look at that tongue licking. There's not a comfortable koala there. But Dewdrop is determined. She wants to get up there and convince this koala that she's worthy of being looked after and of being kept company, I guess, because she's just not really used to being on her own. But she knows clearly that this is not mum, and she knows that it's probably not the wisest thing, and she retreats, going down backwards again. You can see that she's very adept at moving about, even in the very large trees. We can't see much of her just at the moment with the leaves through, but you have been seeing a fair bit of her, and you can see that she's a beautiful round size, beautiful and clean. She's well developed in the muscles of all of her body. She's maybe just a little bit emotionally immature as she adjusts to being without mum. Now she's obviously got her eye on moving across to another part of the tree, so it looks like she has given up for the moment and is preparing maybe for a jump. Whoa, I didn't expect that. Let's watch it again in slow motion, because instead of jumping across, she jumped quite a bit down, and so she went out of camera range, and as quickly as I got down, she had landed on the tree. And look at the power in her as she pushes on up and goes, yep, all good, I'll just go up this side of the tree and gather my thoughts and decide what I'm going to do next. Again, it's obvious that her immaturity has got nothing to do with her physical abilities. She's now way high up in this tree. It's just a matter of her adjusting to life on her own. So she had a little bit of a look at me, and up she went into the treetop, and late that afternoon, there she is, still sleeping away up in that spot that she went to, and the other koala was left still sleeping on the other side of the tree. Now, I didn't tell you, did I, who that other koala was? What I can tell you is that for the next couple of weeks, quite often, when that koala was in a tree, by the next day, Dewdrop would be in the tree. That koala would take off, and Dewdrop would often, within a day or two, be sort of following again. But she did settle. She did grow on and mature perfectly well. And here's a view of the tree all of this was happening in. Do you recognize it? Well, here's that same tree today. Yep, that's the tree that's in the soft release enclosure. And hopefully you can see a bit of a difference in everything around it as well. And that's about the spot where Dewdrop was. What do you think of the bonus image that I've got for you today? Of course, I decided that it was totally appropriate to take one of my favourite Dewdrop photos and have a good time doing some faffing with it and bringing you a beautiful arty view of one of Maxine's gorgeous daughters. And you know what, don't you? Yep, you have made it through to the end of yet another video. I hope that you enjoyed this absolutely amazing look into koala behaviour. This last little piece of footage is Dewdrop in the big pink bloodwood that's just outside the kitchen window, quite happily on her own a few days later. So would you take a moment to write into the comments below, babysitter fail? And don't forget to take a guess at who was the koala that she was trying to get cozy with. Stay tuned, of course, lots more great koala video coming your way. Thanks for visiting Koala Gardens. Did you hit the like button? Now before you go, there's lots more great video to see, and make sure you've subscribed and hit that notification bell.